Okay, everyone, so here we are. We're recording this video to start showing you my CLL project, Renee, which I'm very excited about. So let's just get that out of here. I'm gonna show you the website first. So everyone, this is my website that I'm scraping from. And the website here is quite difficult because it has a lot of hidden tags and nested tags. So just to get like certain information, like the BGR here, over to the next area is different from the one on this side. So for me, it was quite difficult and a lot of help was needed. So there's about 20 of them in one list. And what it does is it goes over into this tag, or the href goes straight into another website. And then I can gather information from this website, like whatever is necessary, in order to put into my CLI commands and start to just show different types of information from it. Each one does the same. So that's pretty neat, and I'm excited that I can do it. I can get certain information that I need from it. So each one, if I wanted to get history or something, I would have to dig a little bit further. So some of the complications with that was, let's see, once it loads up. Let's do that over again. Okay, there we go. So the entire file, or the entire list, is contained inside of this list page container. But if I do a little bit more digging, let's see. It's actually not in there. There it is. So it's inside of the entry content and collection wrap. So it's a little, that for me in the beginning was quite difficult to figure out because the list is really inside of there in this one. And what it does is it contains everything besides just the first part of the list. Like the list class container will only contain listicle, I'm sorry, but the listicle class container, page container, will only consist probably like the first three, while the entry would contain the entire banner. So we're going to go to BGR, and as we see, it's inside of an href. An H4 tag, H4 tag, and it holds a class information inside of it. So each one is it's either a link that goes into string of a name that goes to an href, which is targeted, and then we have information behind it. It would be like on the div, and then each information I would try to reach out to. But initially, what I wanted to do was have the link be available as well. So in order to do that, I grabbed the H4, and then I interpolated that into a puts underneath a method that allowed the link to be visible so that the information will be grabbed from it. And I'll show you that just in a moment. So that's an example of how one of them would work. And then I can show all of the p tags. Here, this p tag has the location information, and it has the information about the restaurant. Whereas because this is all about airport restaurants, and they're not in the same order for each one. So this one may be an href, but its p tag is separate from the other. So there's a difference there because one has a break, and the other one is in one p tag with a break, where the other one would be inside of two separate p tags. So if I wanted to edit the location, the name, and the information additional to everything and behind to the next website, would be kind of like digging. And for a novice person, it would be kind of quite difficult for that. So let's close this and show you how everything works. So what I scraped was I got a Git scraper with Nokigiri, and I have all of my environments set up where I have my Pry, Nokigiri, OpenURL, and totals. So it just continues through and all the things that I would need for this project. Let's start with Backbone Scraper, and what I'm scraping from is the website. Then I go to my index, and the index takes the argument of the scrape and does whatever is being scraped inside of the CSS. And just calling on it, so that when I have call on the scrape index as each one is going through, I go through the entire list of inside of the airport that I have information in there as well. So over to my airport, there are my add accessors, which have my setter and getter, and both of those information are able to be contributed for my objects when I'm passing through as getters for my information. So I have each initialized name, URL, and my all class variable being stored. So which one is optional, set to new. And what that does is it helps me find the necessary, it helps me get control the information that I'm passing through. So this is self new list, and this new list comes from it's imported into the scraper, and what it does is it gathers the tags. So it's kind of scraping itself as well outside the scraper, but it's helping me just gather information that I need in order to run some of the project, and can be changed later for sure. So I have H4, then collect, and it's collecting only H4 between the strong and the H4. Obviously, as a text because it's a name, and then it strips it out of the brackets, and then it goes through to another iteration where, well, not slightly iteration, but another script where it goes to the tags, and then it has the href. So it has that information. And this is a might delete, but it might actually help me because this information I can use later, where you can have all of this tag here, which is kind of like a continuous of the others. And I'm calling the name. See, what these are doing here is that they're used inside of my CLI. So when my CLI is operating, as it knows the information that's coming, where it's coming from. Because I'm using airport class in order to have that pushed over, and also I'm using my scraper to have that pushed over. So inside of my CLI, I put my base URL. I don't need it, but I have it there. And so the scraper is grabbing from the list of airports, so it has an array or index of it. And the scraper index, which is practically moving everything over from the airport. So they're transmitting different information. Puts welcome to welcome. Well, it's supposed to be welcome to the best, actually. Welcome to the best airport restaurant, foodies guide, and then fly, which is I can start for me, and define fly, and you say puts, and then continues with certain information, and asks you if you want to do first and last. Input get stripped down case. So what that does is it, basically takes this input and down cases it. input 1 or 11, it takes you through the array. Then you have the airports, and you have the airport's input being pulled in from down here at the bottom. So as we continue, there are a list of numbers, and each list of numbers are relative to these, but the difference is that you're getting different prompts for interactive like behavior. So you're going to get a number you want to start from, and the numbers will guide you through whatever you feel that you want. So if you were to put 1 through 1 through 1 through 19 or 1 through 18, whatever, it will come through as that information that you called for. But if you enter another, then it would just put the same information out, but at this point you didn't have to enter much. So it all relates back to the information I have at the bottom. So then we continue through, and there's a lot of commented on information as this is still in the works. It will be past the deadline by the time I finish this video, so I won't be able to be continuing to after the deadline. So then we continue through it, and we have, are you ready to venture out? So this is the exit, and if you say yes and you say thank you, you end it. The airports has their own condition where they say if you place any certain number or there's any range, then you will get through the responses. And the responses will go through properly because they're designed that way. And then you have information coming from the airport in order to give you the name and URL, which is found here at the bottom. And it could be placed many different areas. It could be changed, but currently that's the way that is going to affect the code the way I have it, and it flies. So we're going to start off by going here, and we're going to show you what's down at the bottom. So I already have it running for you, and you should see how it works. So it tells you to enter a number from such. I can enter 1, and it will say it will continue like that. But if I enter a certain number because I didn't enter it in proper way, I entered 20, then there's an error because it's over. But if I start over, then it will start to print out the information. So it gives you the name and local information and the area. So that's my project, and still needs work, but hopefully you guys like it and see the things that I need to advance and it will help me a lot. So thank you. Hope to enjoy.